No.
All right, looks like we should have everything in. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are officially live to another episode of the Turn 4 podcast. I am your host Daniel, and I'm here joined by Addison. So yeah, last week I had some computer issues. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get this episode on last week, but we are back for this week. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. As we saw the commercial 500. I'm bad. I'm in the Daytona 500. Is under has been concluded. So Haddison, start us off with this weekend. Your overall takeaways of the Daytona 500 this weekend and speed weeks in general.
In all honesty, the Daytona 500 will always bring some kind of intensity whenever it comes to the last few laps. But oh no, it was an okay race. I mean, we didn't see that much chaos until like the lap to the 100s in the laps. But did I ever think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. would ever win the 500 in some way? In some ways, excuse me, maybe, but. Yeah. In all honesty, for speed weeks entirely, I would give it a bit of a 7 out of 10 because it still didn't disappoint. That's all I can say.
I mean, I gotta say overall the racing was great in the 500. I mean, we pretty much saw your usual front runners in the super speedways, guys like Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney out front. You know, I was quite a bit surprised. I got to I didn't really see the Hendrick guys kind of really fell off. Alex Bowman and Kyle Larson, but Kyle Larson in the end he had a shot to go out there in the 500. And Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon, I mean, they worked their way up, to the front. But however, the race ended in two green white checker attempts, overtime attempts, which made it the longest Daytona 500. But for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., get his third career win, and not only that, but he snaps in a 199 race winless streak. So all the way back in July of 2017, winning at Daytona, and not only that, this is his third career win in the NASCAR Cup Series, and the other one being at the Daytona 500. So now, do you feel like this is kind of do you feel Stenhouse stays at GTG, or do you think more than likely he moves to Stewart-Haas Racing now with that Daytona 500 win?
Well, if they can't find anyone else to drive that 4 car for Stewart-Haas, I would say he probably goes to Stewart-Haas, but if they eventually do find a replacement, I would say he stays there for like 1 or 2 more years or more.
I honestly feel because due to the fact that Stenhouse is part of the KHI management, the agency through Kevin Harvick. So I honestly feel Stenhouse is probably looking like now the more than likely candidates to take over Kevin Harvick. I mean, you look at Sunny D. I mean, they came over sponsor for Harvick for a couple of races, and Sunny D has been a very loyal sponsor to Stenhouse these past couple of years. So honestly, I feel like this is kind of I feel like Stenhouse more than likely could probably take over that ride.
I can see that.
So I gotta say for the Daytona 500, the racing, I give it an 8 out of 10. But I gotta say the overall coverage, I honestly feel that Fox once again did not capitalize on their Daytona 500 coverage.
Leave it to commercials.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I look at past Daytona 500s. Usually, on average, it would mostly based on looking at that race and looking at that broadcast. I would say that probably up to 7, an average. There would be an average of every 8 laps we would go on a commercial break. And I remember, I think they missed the wreck with they missed the first big wreck during a commercial break. It was during the time they were side by side. So pretty much, I mean, I've been looking at a lot of the memes though on Instagram that pretty much, especially casuals that are trying to watch the race. All I would see is mostly Coke Zero commercials, mostly saying, we're hearing that catchphrase, I need to try it first. Yeah. That's definitely a commercial. And then that Burger King commercial, that annoying Whopper jingle, whatever. I don't even want to sing. It's too cringy. But if Anthony were in this podcast, he could probably do it. But honestly,
Maybe
It's at this point where
it's been to a meme song now.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing though. I mean, there's got to be more efficient ways though. I mean, there's two options. Try to find. I mean, because here's the thing. Pretty much. I mean, you look at F1. I mean, you look at F1. Their majority of the races are commercial free.
You froze
You
for like
look at back in the day with TNT.
you froze for a good few seconds, and I didn't catch the rest you said.
For example, like with F1, I mean, majority of their races are commercial free, and then you look at back in the day with back when TNT used to broadcast the races from 2007 to 2014, when they would broadcast the summer portion though. When they would broadcast the summer portion, they would do, especially the races of Daytona, they would do the TNT wide open coverage where they would go commercial free, pretty much commercial free, but it's kind of a similar way to side by side, but pretty much like you wouldn't miss a single part of the action pretty much. So, I mean, that's kind of and I think this is crucial for Fox though, because, the past few years though, Fox has kind of really been lacking in quality in terms of broadcasting. I mean, if you look in the booth, I mean, Mike Joy is Mike Joy. I mean, Mike Joy is kind of the one that's been holding the glue, carrying Fox pretty much the past 20 years. And even during the times when Fox has kind of been falling out, the past 5-6 years, he's kind of been the one that's kind of been carrying them on their back. So, I mean, I honestly feel that Fox needs to start improving their broadcast, especially since right now this year, this is when all the negotiations for all the TV rights and the TV deals are going to occur. And Fox did say that they do want to keep NASCAR for probably the next 10-15 years, probably until 2030, 2034. But overall, your thoughts? I mean, do you feel this is do you feel like this is going to be a trend that's going to be going on, in future races and races this year that will be broadcasted by Fox and FS1 this season?
Possibly. In a way.
All right. So on to the Xfinity race. Pretty much it's a kind of a deja vu all over again with Austin Hill winning at Daytona.
And with a flip happening on the last lap, but even though it wasn't that bad as last year's one.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like Sam Mayer's flip kind of gave me flashbacks of Ryan Newman's flip at the Daytona 500.
Now that you say that, kind of yes.
Because you look at the way the angle hit.
He started to do his little blowover when you get the point.
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of look at the angle though, it kind of hits on the side and the wall, flips over, but then you look, once he's upside down, you look, Newman pretty much doesn't get hit again until he gets hit driver's side. But once I kind of looked at the replay, luckily he didn't get hit driver's side, but it was kind of looking that he was probably going to start getting hit on the driver's side. But luckily, he was able to walk away from that.
Yep.
All right, so all right, and then the NASCAR Truck Series race, once again deja vu, but this time the race had to be cut short due to rain. Zane Smith starting out his title defense with the win at Daytona. I mean, when it comes to Zane Smith this year in the Truck Series, you feel like this could be a championship hangover for him in the Truck Series? Do you feel like his seasons, do you think he's going to increase his stats this season, or you think it's going to kind of be around the same 3 or 4 wins, or do you feel like he's going to increase his in this year in wins?
I could say the same amount of wins from last year. Would he be a championship contender? That's if he brings last year's self to this year. But I would say same amount of wins, maybe more. Depends on how fast his truck will be. But like I said, he has to bring the last year's self he has to bring his last year's self to this year.
Honestly, I honestly think he increases his win column.
It is kind of too early to say.
I honestly think he's going to increase his win column. I feel he could probably get 5-6 wins this year. I mean, if you look, if you look at the Truck Series field, majority of them are filled with rookies, and there's some of them that are probably going to struggle in the first half of the year, but but probably could have it figured out at the in the during the mid half of the season. So I feel like some of Zane Smith's biggest competition could probably be Ben Rhodes, Ty Majeski, probably Corey Heim. That's who I kind of see right now at the moment. Maybe Grant Finger. So right now, I don't really see Zane Smith having really stacked competition this year in trucks.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So I think that should kind of be it with Daytona Speed Weeks. So looks like we're gonna start transitioning into the Turn 4 pit stop. But before we get into the Turn 4 pit stop, we'd like to thank the sponsor of the Turn 4 pit stop, Lionel Racing, the official diecast of NASCAR. Collect 164 and 124 scale diecast of your favorite NASCAR driver here at lionelracing.com. Pre-order the 124 or 164 diecast of the winning car of the 2023 Daytona 500, and be on the lookout for the 164 NASCAR Authentics here at your local Target and at your local Walmart. So here's what we have here for today's episode. So I got Jeff Gordon's 2004 DuPont Flames car. This is from 2004 124 scale diecast. And what do you got for today, Addy?
Both cars from last year. Ryan Blaney's Orth car, he ran at Fontana, Talladega, and Watkins Glen. And the guy who won one of the duels, and last year we would have said he was gonna be gone from NASCAR, but's back for another year. Eric Almirola's Smithfield car from last year.
All right. So here's what we got on the menu here for today. So Tyson has been named the sponsor for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race at North Wilkesboro.
Sounds like a good film. It is a track that we're returning after many years.
Yeah. Lucas Oil will be sponsoring Kyle Busch at Auto Club Speedway. Monster Brewing will sponsor Tyler Reddick for several races in 2023, as Monster Energy has now launched their alcoholic drinks. Tony Stewart and Danica Patrick will be broadcasting the upcoming races for Fox Sports. Tony Stewart will be broadcasting for Auto Club in Atlanta, while Danica Patrick will be in the broadcast booth for Las Vegas and Phoenix.
2 years in a row that she's going to be in the booth while I'm at Phoenix.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So this is good. So now we're gonna go over the entry list for this week at the Auto Club Speedway. So let me just pull up the entry list real quick.
I'm going to all be long.
All right. Let's see if I can find it.
Just going to pull up my iPad to get a little clear view of it. That's all. Okay. Ross Chastain is going to have Kubota, excuse me. Austin Cindric will have Menards/Quaker State. Austin Dillon has Dow Coatings. Kevin Harvick has Gear Wrench. Kyle Larson has HunterCars.com. Brad Kozlowski has Castrol Edge. Corey LaJoy has Nigu. Kyle Busch has Lucas Oil. Chase Elliott has Napa Auto Parts. Eric Almirola has Smithfield. Denny Hamlin has Sport Clips Haircuts. Ryan Blaney has Worth. Chase Briscoe has Rush Truck Centers / Mobile Delvac. JJ Yeley has Act One Group. AJ Allmendinger has Farm Smart. Chris Buescher has Paula Casino. Martin Truex Jr. has Research Fine Foods. Christopher Bell has Sirius XM. Harrison Burton has Tex Imaging. Joel Vigano has Triple A Southern California. Bubba Wallace has Leidos. William Byron has RaptorTough.com. Justin Daly has Lethal Together Protection. Michael McDowell has Horizon Hobby. Todd Gilliland has Long John Silvers. Ryan Priest has Hustling.com. Noah Gregson has Sunseeker Resort. Eric Jones has Allegiant. Tyler Reddick has The Beast Unleashed. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has Ralph's/Treetop. Alex Bowman has Ally. Cody Ware has Biohaven. Ty Gibbs has Monster Energy. Ty Dillon has Nation's Guard. BJ McLeod has American Hartford Gold. And last but not least, Daniel Suarez has Freeway Insurance.
Entry list. And now we're going to preview into Auto Club this weekend. So we'll be running both Xfinity and the NASCAR Cup Series at Auto Club Speedway. The Cup Series will be running at the Pallet for the running of the Pallet Casino 400, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series will be running the running of the Production Alliance Group 300. So we're going to start out with our Xfinity Series picks. So Addison, take away on the Xfinity Series.
My main pick. It's a pretty easy one. He's won 2 times at Auto Club. Of course, did win last year, and of course, did win in 2019. So my main pick is going to be Cole Custer. And my bold pick, I'm looking at it right now. All right, bold pick, I might take a little risk with this one and say Tyler Reddick.
All right. Main pick, I'm actually going to agree with you on this one. I'm actually going to pick Cole Custer for this one. So he's won 2 out of the last 3 races at Auto Club. So I expect him to win again this weekend. And bold pick, he is racing in the Collie car, in the 10 car for Collie. I'm going to go with Austin Dillon as my bold pick.
All right.
All right. So now we're going to transition into our NASCAR Cup Series picks. So take it away, Addison.
Main pick, another one is a pretty easy one. He knows his way around Auto Club. Of course, did win last year and previous time did win in 2017. I'm going to pick none other than Kyle Larson. And my bold pick, he had a good car last year, but from all the issues the next-gen car had last year, tire failures and a bunch of other stuff, the tires kind of cost him the win last year. He had, of course, as I said, did have a good car. My bold pick, the 2311, number 45, Tyler Reddick.
Okay. All right. So for my picks for Auto Club, my main pick is actually going to be the opposite of what you said. He did have the fast car last year, but of course, tire issues took into place. So I'm going to go with Tyler Reddick. And as my bold pick, I'm going to go with a driver who's actually ran well at Auto Club, but he's actually never won there. So I'm going to go with Joey Logano as my bold pick.
Not bad.
So, yeah. All right, so that will do it for our picks for Auto Club. So looks like we are getting ready to wrap up today's episode. Next week, we will be back here next Tuesday. Hopefully all 4 of us can make it. And yeah, so we're pretty much going to recap everything that happened in Auto Club, go over, cover anything that's going on in the NASCAR world, which there isn't really much, but there should be some big news next week. And yeah, we get to preview everything from Las Vegas and all that. So yeah, so follow us on social media on any type of platform, and we'll try to see what we got for next week. So anything else you want to add, Addison, before we get ready to wrap it up?
Nope. Really?
All right. So I know this is kind of a short episode, usually because it's just the 2 of us for this week, and the episode would have been a lot longer if all 4 of us were here in this one. So yeah.
True enough.
All right. So we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week. And I didn't get to say this on the first episode. Neither do I got to say it on the last episode. But Addison, please get a job at Chick-fil-A.
I know
we'll
you.
see you guys next